We're going to go ahead and move into our gameplay session, and we're going to introduce our character and player. Once again, I am the DM, Azloth, and this is my player, Gabby. Say hi, Gabby.
Hi, Gabby.
And who are you playing tonight, Gabby?
So I am playing a character named Safira.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to be back. I took a break during the Chapter 2 games, so returning for Chapter 3.
You sure did take a break for chapter, and that's okay. That's allowed. You're forgiven. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and introduce our game and our characters here, and we will begin now. Okay? Let me go ahead and change the mood. Let me go ahead and do this here. Stop the lava sounds. We will go ahead and do maybe this one. Just gonna put you to sleep. Is this track gonna
Probably.
Let's try something else.
That's fine.
This will be fine. This will be fine. This won't put you to
Calm
sleep.
is good.
Calm is
Not
good.
jumping right into battle music is great.
Yeah?
Already starting off wonderful.
That's good. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and zoom in into our locale of choice for the evening. Fordeath, the capital city of Krunth, is about a year from our current games. So just kind of give you a little bit of information there. This game takes place in the future. In 1051 AJ, so it is a year ahead of where we are. We are in the season of Diluvia, which is the one that takes off from winter and leads into spring. Diluvia is a month where it rains almost consistently all throughout Diluvia is a season, not a month. Diluvia is a season where it rains almost consistently throughout the entirety of Grunth, causing the formation of new streams and little ponds and that sort of thing all over the country. It is also a time of mourning, but also a time of understanding that there's going to be new things coming soon, which is what Dartria is. Dartria is the spring. Yeah. But none of that's really important right now. What is important is that for our character, Safira, at all hours of the day, there is a song in your mind and heart. It was there when you were born, on your first day at school, your graduation, and the day you left. A real song that you could always hear in the background of your life before you came to the surface, the chant. 3 slow songs that bring rhythm to the lives of the Dark Elves from where you hail. The chant replaces morning, noon, and night. At all hours of the day, a choir sings it in the Temple of Faith. For more than 40 years, you could hear it if you stopped and listened, if everything was still. Here on the surface, you can't hear it, except for in your mind and your heart. In times where you need calm, in times when you need rhythm to your life. You're going home in about a week, the looming reality set before you. Across from you, you hear laughter. You and Wynn are standing among some people in the lobby of the Ariosh Theater of Performing Arts. A new show was premiering tonight, and you had dressed to impress, and of course, to show off your latest pieces. Please describe your character.
Okay, so Safira, you see a dark-skinned drow, dark elf, with a thin, small-chested figure. She has high cheekbones, a delicate nose, white freckles dusting her cheeks. She's about 6'1", so of an average height for a female drow, but is probably a little tall among Corinthians in Fordeath. Her eyes are aquamarine and coal accented tonight, and her hair is long and silvery white. She typically keeps it to one side or pulls it up in a pony, which reveals an undercut beneath. and that's usually enchanted different colors, but it's right now she's feeling magenta pink vibes. You can't tell her age by how she looks, but she walks with the timelessness of the elven peoples. Um, Tonight, since it is a formal evening, there's a couple things that she will always wear and some things that she changed up for tonight. So she has a ear clasp along her right ear, and that has two silver drop chains that loop underneath. It's connected to a diamond stud where her ear is pierced, and then that drops into a triangle cut sapphire. This piece is always visible, regardless of her hairstyle, which she's chosen to wear down this evening. Her formal wear, she's wearing a long gown, a matte material that sometimes looks black and sometimes looks dark purple, depending on the lighting. It's a halter style with a plungy neckline connected with crisscross lacing and a slit up the right leg. Her presence out among the city is as much business as it is pleasure, so both arms are adorned in bracelets and bangles with multiple rings on her fingers. And her body jewelry this evening is a different silver body chain than she usually wears, but it's connected to the halter and it drapes over both shoulders. On which one she has a fruit bat perched on her shoulder.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you to describe your arm candy, Win.
Yes, arm candy. So, Win is a human male in his mid-30s. He has long brown hair, slightly beginning to gray. It's often tied back out of his face, somewhat unsuccessfully. Tonight, in formal wear, he's wearing his old uniform, as he used to be part of the Corinthian military. He's got a scar over his left eyebrow, blue eyes. He carries a cane that doubles. It's both a mobility aid and it can extend into a quarterstaff with a flick of his wrists. For those that watched Breaking Tradition, Wynn lost his leg during the events of that arc, and then afterwards became a professor at the university. So that's, and he's probably holding Safira's rod as well, because she's working right now.
Right. Wynn says, I mean, of course, we were excited to come see this show. It's been a while since a new production has come to Lombard Street, and this is the theater to see new shows in. He's talking to a gentleman who is roughly your height, a captain or something in the military. You don't know him. You don't know the woman on his arm either, but she is fairly pretty and wearing a dress appropriate for the occasion and a matching scarf. You must have missed their names thinking about the chant. The woman standing next to the gentleman he is speaking to says to you, So tell me about your newest line of products. Is this them? She gestures to all of you. They look magnificent. Wynn leans over to kind of like give you a little hint. Xenia.
So Safira is much more charming than I am, so she will pick up on that clue and call the woman by her name. And then go into a spiel about her latest designs. She usually designs in the spring or preps in the winter for the spring line. And so what she's wearing is things that haven't been seen before.
Okay. Are you attempting to like sell her a little bit on these items?
Absolutely. I mean, she showed interest, so this
Okay.
is what she does. I mean, it feels friendly, but she absolutely knows what she's doing.
Okay. So for our social encounter system, we're going to kind of step through the mechanics of this a little bit here. For every social encounter, there is a patience and an interest mechanic. The patience is how long you have until the character that you are having the social encounter with runs out. This is the maximum number of rolls you can make trying to convince them to do the thing. Interest is how likely they are to do the thing, right? So if you want to sell someone some jewelry, you want their interest to go up, and you want their patience to stay intact. Okay? It's basically a race to 5 or 0 interest without running out of their patience. You can use their motivations or their pitfalls to boost these things. Their disposition will influence how how they see your interaction, and their disposition can change during the course of one of these encounters. And so you may make any kind of social roll, and this could be something from intelligence, wisdom, charisma, or honor, to appeal or kind of try to gain more information about who you're talking to so that you can use those things to get that interest up. Do you follow?
I think so. So in this particular circumstance, I don't actually know this person.
No.
So
you may want to explore that a little bit.
Yeah, so could I start with like a perception check to kind of like observe what she does seem to be interested in so that I can target my sales pitch to what I think would either match her style or where I think she's lacking?
Sure. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Not that perception's all that great, but we do what we can, and not well.
Get him out of the way! So she looks beautiful, and she is playing with a scarf that she has wrapped around her neck. It's quite thick, which isn't out of place for this particular season, but there's that, and she's kind of clinging to this man that's with her. Seems to have a little bit of more accoutrement on his breast than your win, your arm candy here. Must outrank win.
Does she seem to be trying to draw attention to her neck, or is it so thick that it is trying to distract from like to pull attention away from her face?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Still not great, but
Oof.
Oof. This is not great.
You feel like there's something going on with it.
Yeah. Okay. I guess then, since I'm not getting anywhere with this, Safira will pull the conversation a little bit away from what she's wearing, and just ask directly, is there anything in particular that you are looking to acquire? Any gaps in the pieces that you currently own?
Well, to confess, I don't own too much. My husband and I have only recently been married. She pats his arm, which she's clinging to, and I'm looking to build out a box, I suppose. So I'm looking for all kinds of pieces, I think.
Does she wear any makeup on her face?
Yes, she does. She has what is referred to up here in Kurunth as Eyes of Roysa. She does do like eyeliner and shadow and kind of like draw out wings and a little bit of like kohl down the side of the nose just to kind of like make a little design around the eye. This is something that you're very familiar with. You feel a little bit like your people invented it, and these Corinthians have kind of co-opted it. But it's a feature of worship of Roysa.
Okay, so I think then I will try to target earrings,
Okay.
other pieces that complement pulling the eyes up to the face.
Sure. Okay. As you pitch to her some earrings and some items that will pull the eye up to the face, go ahead and give me a persuasion check. Hopefully this is something you're good at.
We'll see.
What happened to that nat 20 you rolled in test?
I rolled it in test. It was. Oh,
Oh my god.
can we reset? You know, Win is very handsome tonight.
He sure is. You can kind of feel a little bit of her patience beginning to slip. And she goes, well, maybe not earrings.
Okay, what about her? She's probably not going to want rings if she's recently married. I'm going to probably glean. I also feel like at this point I may have lost this person, so I will probably like start to do my closeout spiel of like, you know, keep your mind open, and if you ever need me, like here's how you reach me, and kind of shift a little bit more to like just complimenting her as a person and making her feel like we are friends. We're gonna lose some of the sales pitch and just leave it a little bit with like the networking aspect.
Sure, okay. This is just another charisma check. You can use persuasion if you would like, and that would give you the best bonus.
Yeah.
Okay. She says, okay, well, I appreciate you and giving me the time to kind of look at all of you here. If this is the quality of your work, I can see myself and a hand in here come by your shop. You have a shop in Forteth?
Oh, absolutely. I'll describe where it is. It's a corner shop. It's what it says on the tin. My name is Safira. The business is named Safira. You can't miss us.
Well, you certainly are like a feature of the room, unmissable and quite tall and beautiful.
Oh, thank you. That's incredibly kind of you to say.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When closes up his conversation with Handon and says to you, "Was there anybody else you want to talk to before we see it? What is this show again? Lease the musical? What is it? What do you think? What do you think this is about?"
Darling, I have no idea.
Well, I just hope it's not about like I don't know, anything depressing. We really don't need anything depressing right now, do we?
I mean, sometimes a good cry is good, but maybe not right now.
No. All right. Is there anybody you would like to look for at this point?
How much time do we have before the show starts?
Unknowable. There is no clock in this room.
Okay. Are there still enough people around that it seems like the shows has not quite like the house hasn't fully opened and there's still enough people around?
Yes, people are having cocktails and such.
Yeah. So, here's what Safira does. She puts herself in the center of the room. She brings one with her, and she waits for people to come to her. I think that she is the type of person that her presence and the way she looks and what she's wearing is designed to draw attention. And regardless of whether she's actually talking to someone, she knows that she's selling. So she's going to look out for who's looking at her and then maybe kind of like wink at them, that kind of thing. Please tell me I'm still on. Can you
are
hear me?
still on, sorry.
Okay.
Yes, so you set yourself up to be approached by those around you, sort of as an advertising means. And this has worked for you before. In this very building, it's worked. In fact, some of these people seem to know where to find you. A couple of the more famous types come by and take a look and have short conversations with you about what your upcoming spring catalog is going to look like. Droll conversations about your business, about the usual stuff. What kind of bangles do you have? What are we doing in earrings? What gemstones are in? What gemstones are out? Are we into, filigree on things? Are we into silver rather than gold? What's going on? And these conversations seem to be, normal. At some point, Wynn puts a nice cordial in your hand, and as you're hobnobbing with these rich folks. At some point, though, a small, pretty woman, you're like a foot taller than her, like a full, like you are over 6 feet tall. This person isn't even 5 feet tall. She comes up to you, well dressed. She has some nice jewelry on. Clearly comes from some kind of money. And she approaches and introduces herself. Greetings. We haven't met. I am Legate Asamthos Sarkenzi. I'm the diplomat that has been assigned to our task by the Crown. I'm very curious about your presence on this mission. It is hard for you to represent us when you're not one of us, isn't it?
On the contrary, I've spent as much time here in Fortith as I have in my hometown. I come from both worlds, and I'm happy to represent Crowanth in this endeavor.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion check. There it is.
Yay!
There we go.
Where it matters.
We teased it out. Just as, oh. Well, I really don't know much about your people. I know that you all are on live. I hazard to make a guess about your age, but you can't be that old, can you?
I've lived many age 29s. What would you guess?
Oh, see, I don't know where to begin. You look very nice for someone who's been 29 several times. I wouldn't have put it past 25. I know there's this healer in, the local, well, not local, it's really the hospital 2 streets over. And she is a dark elf like you, and she has been here for, I want to say 200 years or something. You're not 200 years old, are you?
No, I'm actually much younger than that.
Okay.
I'm 29, remember?
Right, of course. How could I forget? We just discussed that. You've lived there, and you're not one of the dark elves that have been born up here, but you've lived down there.
I did. I grew up there, and I studied there, and left and pursued business on the surface here. Like I said, I've been here building up my brand for almost as long as I was in Werrami.
Right. Yeah. I heard. That's what the city's called. It's on all of the paperwork.
You thought it was Werrami, right?
Well, they spelt it with a W.
Oh, that's not right.
It's not right, right? Okay. I've kind of been, doing really well with been really focused on the language classes and trying to make sure that my Dramaraha is up to date, but I'm sure, once we're there, you'll take a little bit of the lead on some of those conversations until I get a little bit more familiar with the language. As chief diplomat, I have to be the one leading these conversations. But it's interesting, you said on the surface, and that really does fly in the face of what we know about your people. I could have sworn before this came and landed in my lap, um, that most people believed that your people come from the Shadelands, where the rings of Valgas cast a permanent shadow on our world, and you don't. You don't come from there at all.
That's a terrible name for that for where we come from.
The
That's what
Shadelands?
people think.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I choked a little bit on my beverage. Yes, people do think that because they think that someone who lives in such like permanent darkness, um, that like that's why your people are colored the way that you are, just like how most of us that live up here in the north and in Krunth are more pale, and people who live in Shia, because they're more exposed to the sun, are brown or like a bronze or like a tan kind of color, and everywhere in between. Even some folks there are black as well, and the Ansai are the shade, I guess it's a tan, right? I've never seen an elf, and she kind of like makes a gesture to kind of like ward off evil. I've never seen an elf, like an elf, not like you, but like an elf, and I don't know what color they would be. I mean, you're like this fantastic sort of like dark stone color, and it's just very interesting.
Darling,
Yes.
I just that's a lot to unpack right now. You're
Oh,
you're a diplomat for this mission?
yes. I am.
Okay.
It's just I assume that we're, of course, on the same team, and I just want to get the gaffs out before I gaff in front of someone who's going to, put a hole in the whole negotiation. Feel free to correct me.
Uh well, I think that perhaps you may want to approach with a little bit more of an open mind and eliminate some of the learnings that you've grown up with thus far about where we come from. Um, I can't share too much about where we are headed, as you well know. Um, DM,
Hmm.
is the fact that I said under the surface why she's calling out the below, or does she actually know that
She see
from the missive?
she seems out your passive your passives are high enough that she seems to know that your people are from underground, but she's kind of like jabbing at you for so casually referencing, the
Yeah.
surface. And a little bit at the same time, it seems a little bit like she's testing the waters with you. Like she's trying
Yeah.
to size you up.
Okay. So what I will say is, I'm just one representative, so is um the woman that you've seen before that works at the hospital. Do I know who that person is?
You're aware of this woman. She is cantankerous, rude, and probably has never ever given you her actual given name. Has always demanded you call her the doctor.
Okay.
But you know who she's talking about.
All right, so then I'll say the doctor. um our people are most connected to stone, to earth. Um so our skin tone is as varied as you've already described for the human peoples of Cruinth as a whole. Um, so maybe just kind of waive some of those expectations and assumptions that you're making.
Fascinating. I will absolutely approach everything with an open mind. I wouldn't be able to do my job if that wasn't the case. But thank you for enlightening me about it.
You're very welcome. And if you have any other questions about where we're headed or the language, please do reach out. It can only help us in the long run
I have
if you are well prepared.
I have so many, but really I have to go and played Kate Sharp-Hassicourt. You know who that is. Duke Sharp-Hassicourt.
I probably saw him earlier.
Yeah, you did. And now that you mention it, you kind of... Now that she mentions Duke Sharp-Hassicourt, you're putting together that... Because you already know what he looks like. You're putting together that the young man that you and Wynn were talking to and his new wife, that young man is Duke Passicourt's son. Handon Passicourt. And Xenia, who had just apparently, according to her, married him, she would be Xenia Passicourt. So you just met like the extended family not too long ago. The legate continues
and
to
left them with such a good impression.
You had the you don't know how Wynn handled his side of the conversation, but you at least left Xenia with an impression. It wasn't necessarily a bad one. It wasn't a high stakes conversation, but you did.
We can hope Arm Candy came through.
Yes. So she continues. One of the others who is on this mission, kind of really pissed him off, and so I have to smooth that over. But I really appreciate meeting you, and we will talk about all of the things that we can all be very prepared for this, okay?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope you enjoy your show.
I hope you enjoyed as well. And she steps off and walks away.
I immediately turn to Wynn and give the most exasperated look.
He goes, "Yikes." Is she the legate that's leading this?
Apparently.
Oh my god, we're so fucked. We're so fucking fucked.
Darling.
I'm just saying.
Put a little trust.
I trust you.
I'll work with her.
I trust you. I trust you to manage this. That was a lot to unpack. That was a lot.
I didn't even know where to start.
How is she never mind. I don't want her to sour our evening.
As she's speaking, Safira is kind of like she's got her arm around Wynn and is doing little drawings on the back of his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna feel like gibberish, but she's writing in her home language downwards, just the word love.
He kind of goes, all right, well, I can't wait for this show to start. Maybe sometime, like, just not dealing with some of these people. Like, it would be nice just to pay attention to something else for a little while.
Do we have box seats? Just out of curiosity, are we of that level?
Yeah, you guys have box seats, but not like subscribed box seats, you know?
Okay.
You're not part of the nobility. Like, you don't have season tickets, but you can afford box seats when you want to go to a show, you know?
Yeah.
That's fairly easy for you to afford. And as almost as if summoned, the lights kind of dim and go, you know, a couple of levels dimmer to indicate the show is about to start. And he says, "Oh, okay, great. I'm going to refresh your drink, and then I will meet you in our seats." So he goes to the bar to get.
I will take my rod before he goes, since he's been carrying it for me very kindly.
He passes it to you. He pats Jasper on the snoot, and then he goes and gets you a drink. You find your seat. He meets you there, passes you your refreshment, and the show begins. When the show is over, a couple hours later, there is a brief half-hour intermission. But when the show is over, you guys, along with everybody else, kind of pour out into the street and wait for carriages. It's a very light rain. and he's kind of standing there, and he sees the couple that you guys were talking to earlier, and he taps you on the shoulder and says, "Oh, there they are." And as you both look over there, the young woman that's with Captain Handon waves at you. Those two and another man get into that carriage, and they drive off. So what'd you think of the show?
I always find the stories that your people want to tell so fascinating. There's so many times it's almost the same themes as some of the stories that we tell where I'm from, but slightly different.
What was with the landlords? I didn't understand that. Did they? Was there? I didn't understand the whole landlords tenants thing of the show. Like, I understood that one guy had a disease, and then everybody had the disease, and everybody was sick. But I don't get the landlords part. What did that have to do with anything?
I mean, I've never actually seen this show, so I don't know how to respond to what he's talking about.
It's the show that you guys just watched. Lease, the musical.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yes. I see.
So he kind of looks at you and goes, "No casual analysis. No thoughts about that relationship between the landlords and tenants. I thought you would, my dear."
I think part of it is that greed can lead people to some incorrect choices that put their past friends in jeopardy, and you can only hope that people learn in the end, but that's what I took out of it. Also, the music was fantastic.
Yeah, they really did hit it with that song.
But sometimes with shows like these, there's interwoven connections that are a little hard to figure out in a musical, because you have to kind of understand it from the standpoint of what's happening on the stage. And sometimes it always doesn't come across, especially if the actors don't have the same kind of chemistry. So I kind of got the impression that, like, the one that lived next door to the other one were friends, but it was only slightly obvious. It's just a little,
I guess,
hard to make the connections.
I guess they're really going for, like, I have to see it again to kind of get a better grasp on it. Like, they're trying to get me down to this theater again, which I guess I'll have time to. Oh, here's our carriage. The carriage pulls up, one horse, closed carriage. Just generic livery. Driver steps down, opens the door for you both. Wynn lets you climb in first, follows after. Sits down in the carriage and continues his bit about. I mean, if I were to see it again, I wouldn't be sitting in a box seat. I'd be by myself. So I'd probably take like a back row spot and just kind of try to figure out what's going on with the character, because there's a bunch of them. Like, I'm used to shows where it's just like 10 people, not 30. There were 30 people up there, Safira.
Don't you have students in that show that could get you tickets?
Yeah, but it feels weird, doesn't it? It feels weird to take advantage of that relationship. I don't like the idea of that. I don't like that.
I don't think you take advantage of the relationship. I think you tell them that you're interested to see the show. They could probably help you out. It might not be the back of, the back seat, but maybe it'll be slightly more in the front as opposed to the back of the theater.
I suppose I could settle for a center orchestra seat. I suppose. I don't like the idea of having acquired expensive taste now that I have both a military stipend and a regular tenure paycheck with the academy, but the
Darling, you should treat yourself. I don't know how long I'm going to be gone, so if you want nice seats at the theater, get yourself nice seats at the theater.
All right.
You deserve it.
The carriage winds its way through the streets of Central Florida for about 20 minutes before it arrives outside your shop. The carriage stops. The driver gets off the seat, comes out, goes around, opens the door to let you out. A Wynn steps out with you. It says, "Oh, I guess we'll have to get you packing tomorrow."
Yes, it will be a lot to prep for. I need to finish the inventory list, and I need to figure out what samples I want to bring. Not to be said for all of the clothes.
Oh, you gotta pack new clothes?
I'm adventuring clothes, darling.
No. Okay. Well, I guess we should get some sleep. I had a great evening. You want me to make
I did too.
You want me to make you breakfast in the morning?
That would be amazing.
All right then. Well, let me just do a little bit of a lap around the store, and then I'll come in.
Appreciated.
And he does so. As he's doing this lap around the store, he's drawing a silver thread with his cane, just around the entire perimeter of your store. And then will enter your store.
I probably started to enter and then just watched him work.
Okay. He comes back around the other side 3.5 minutes later. Oh, you waited. Well, let me just finish up. And he ties it off with a magical bow, and it disappears, becoming translucent. He ducks under, and really crosses it, and it looks like he's got a headache for a second. And then he walks in with you. Yes, well, we should probably let the girls know and get them sorted. Long night, though. Bed?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Bed. And you guys go upstairs.
Downstairs.
Downstairs. You guys go downstairs. That's right. It's downstairs. The next day, about a week out, is your departure.
Mm-hmm.
5 days later from now, the show. It's mid-morning. Your employees are running around the shop like crazy. Wynn is sitting at a small tea table you have up against one of the walls that's out of the way, not by the display case, by the window, or by the various other display cases you have around the shop. But he's kind of just tucked out of the way, and he's watching these two young women kind of just shuffle around the store. What does this day look like in comparison to what your normal day looks like? Let's start with what your normal day looks like.
This is the day I'm leaving, or the day before?
This is 5 days before you leave.
5 days before I leave. Okay. So a normal day, I would say, she wakes up when she damn well pleases, and it's based on sound, not sun. That's why she's lives below. So other than the lack of windows, the space is like any other Corinthian bedroom. On days that Wynn has stayed over, she starts by cleaning up after him and shutting some of the dresser drawers that his scattered brain sometimes left open. When there's no immediate urgency, she'll spend some time with Camilla to work on her enchantments. She's training her as an apprentice, so she'll do some smaller end pieces. If it's not urgent and she'll look over all of her commissions and kind of make that call day by day, she might head to her studio inside the store, where she'll do some of the more elaborate pieces or more involved enchantments or important clientele she'll handle. And then seasonally she'll kind of weave in that design inspiration. So like I said, she's already planned out her spring line, so she has a number of designs kind of around the store displayed, papers with those, early samples and things like that. And much of the workday is as needed based on that day. If she's feeling listless, she might take a walk, bringing a journal where she'll take charcoal etchings of architectural designs, and then she might wander towards the academy or to Wynn's apartment. But it's very day by day. There's, she has her time management, but she doesn't live in urgent, go, go, go. And like I said before, a lot of her advertisement has already been done by the fact that her brand has been established, and she runs around as a walking advertisement, so she could go to the market and she's working. I think today the air is a little heavier. I think the energy is a little bit more urgent. They're trying to finish up any commissions they currently have. She's trying to make sure that Camilla is ready to continue to work through the current enchantments, that she's finished whatever's high profile, and that Camilla is at the skill set to do the rest. She has an accountant who is working diligently, so that's Adris is working on the numbers. And Wynn has very much been already briefed on how to look out for the store. So there's a lot of just trying to tie up loose ends that's happening today.
Yes, speaking of, Camilla approaches you in the throes of this busyness and shows you a piece that is complete, but she says, so as you can see, the crafting of the piece is complete. It's ready for enchantment, but I can't get the enchantment to stick. The client wants it to have a light enchantment, so that when they get out of bed in the middle of the night, they don't have to light a lantern or anything like that, so they don't trip and fall down the stairs to their death. Literally quoted on the order. So I can't get it to stick, and I think it's because of impurities in the gold, but I wanted you to look at it just so I, was sure that I was right about that. Shows it to you.
Not to worry. I will take a look at the gold. And in her head, Safira is already planning to, if it's not the gold, she wants to see how Camilla was doing it, because Camilla is still learning her enchanting, and she'd rather make sure that Camilla knows what she's doing as opposed to just doing it for her. So I will first inspect the gold, and then I will see where I can help.
Okay. Yeah. With your expertise, it looks like she is right in that she already knows the steps she needs to take. It looks to you like she's just looking for approval to do the thing that she was going to do anyway. That she really just needs the confidence to just do it herself rather than ask you the question.
Okay. So I will hand it back to her and say, what have you tried so far?
Well, I've tried the standard enchantment, and when that didn't take, I did out the formula to, get it to stick without when it had a level of impurity that wasn't acceptable for the basic enchantment. So I figured, that was the right thing to do. Just haven't executed yet. Wanted to run it by you before, anything else to make sure there wasn't anything I missed.
How are we on supplies?
We're good. We're good on supplies. I haven't wasted any. Just the first casting that when I saw it didn't use up anything else. Just wanted to run it by you before moving on.
And so, what is your plan?
My plan is to do this at a heightened level so that it sticks better onto the metal, and then let it rest. And if it took, great. If it didn't take, do it again so that it does take. Usually, like you've taught me, like Master Windwood has taught me, you can take a couple of casts on it for it to stick. But more impurities means more casting, and I just didn't want to waste any materials without knowing that was absolutely going to be the case. That's my plan. My plan is to just do it with the upcast and try to get it to stick that way, and it should. That's the methodology we always use. So
I love that. Do that. Let me know if you need me.
Great. Okay.
Don't be so concerned with materials. That's where I'm headed. I'm getting us some more.
Okay. Great.
We'll be okay.
And she walks back to her workbench. And Wynn goes, she's gonna just be doing that herself when you're not here. It's the fact that you're here.
I'm aware.
It's because you're here still.
Are you trying to get rid of me?
No, I'm just saying that, they'll be fine when you're not here because they will have no choice but to be fine,
Well, and I've taught them, and they know what they need to know.
That's right.
They know what they need to know.
They're just nervous. They don't want you to leave. They love you. Adris comes up with a packet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, boss. So I ran all the numbers like you asked, and she passes you the packet.
Yep.
And that is the all the paperwork. Here is our balance sheet. She takes the packet back from you, opens it up, shows you the balance sheet. That's our current balance sheet for this month and season, and then our projected sales through spring. When did you say you were going to come back?
Oh, I actually don't know the answer to that.
Okay. Well,
it depends on negotiations.
Yeah, well, I took the liberty of projecting out the next year as well as for all costs and labor materials included for current commissions, standing orders, as well as potential upcoming commissions. There's a rhythm to these things. I wanted to make sure that you were aware that your business was in good hands for when you came back, and that we will be making the steady profits that we've been making, for as long as I've been working here.
I've never doubted that. Safira is plays it very well, but she's not a numbers person, so she knows that when Adris is talking, she kind of loses it a little bit. She tries to redirect conversation because she trusts into back to inventory, actually talking about if there's anything she needs to pick up, if they're good on gold, if they need certain gemstones while she's away. Because part of prepping numbers is, what else she needs to facilitate inventory-wise.
Right, so about the inventory, Mistress, our biggest cost right now is gold because of all of them, the command that the Leata have over the mint and the gold mines in the west. And so, we're kind of looking at a shortage soon. Do we want to shift towards silver or other metals that could also be very pretty as sort of our base? Or I don't know. Are you able to get gold where you're going?
I should be. Yes, there's gold is in abundance. I think it will depend. Um, my recommendation is to stick with silver. I've been wearing silver um all winter thus far, and heading into spring to help facilitate some of that. Um, if gold is heading into a shortage, though, we will probably have um the wealthy and the nobles still want to request it in force, and so I would keep your gold for um, a little bit more of the pieces that Win will need to enchant.
She nods, and as you are having this conversation, the bell on your door rings, and customers walk in. And she says, "Okay, well, if you can get a regular, I assume that this thing is like that diplomatic thing that you were talking about. If you can get a regular shipment of cheaper gold, not like cheaper in quality, but cheaper in cost for us, gold, that would be really good for our books, and we would enjoy that as a company, customers." And she kind of kind of like does a little spin. She seems a very nervous type outside of the bookkeeping and walks away. Wynn goes,
I'll
yeah,
see what I can do.
she is also going to be okay, but though we may want to hire like a receptionist because she can't do that, and my plate's gonna be full with all the other stuff.
Oh, you have my permission to hire. I will not be here in 5 days.
Okay. The customers are that lovely couple that you met at the show. Um,
I will also greet them by name because I did not write them down, but I know Safira will know it.
Handon,
Xenia.
Handon and Xenia. Captain Handon Passacor and Xenia Passacor. Captain approaches you and says, "We saw you at the show. My wife Xenia here was taken by the things you had for sale. Was a little stressed out from speaking with my father and all the hullabaloo that happened that night. So we're. Oh, is that Win over there? Do you keep him tucked in the corner? Keep that dog on a leash." He winks at you.
Oh, absolutely not.
You just let him roam wherever he pleases, huh? He must be well behaved. And he kind of like winks again and says, "If you don't mind," and he kind of steps away from you and says, "Winwood, you old bastard, how's the leg keeping you?" And he approaches your boo.
Her eye is twitching so hard. She'll turn her attention to Xenia.
Hi. I wanted to look at your spring catalog.
Oh, wonderful. She'll customer service voice it on and hopefully try to make some of these rolls a little better this time.
Okay, if you would like to persuade her to buy a piece, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check if you'd like.
Sure. Okay.
That's better.
It's better. How does she look today? Is she still wearing makeup? It's not a formal affair. Like what?
So she is wearing more of a girl of action kind of outfit. She's got one of those blouses that ends in ruffles on the sleeves, a little bit of a collarless cut, so it kind of drapes off one shoulder. A little piratey kind of outfit, done up by string, long pants, leather. Her cloak is kind of like hanging off one shoulder, and she's got a short sword on her hip. You can see now that her neck has like a not like a full on scarf, but a little kind of like choker, maybe like 2 inches thick, and it's covering up. You can kind of see the scar poking out from under it, and she's kind of looking a little bit at the stuff in the cases, but she sees like there's this energy and movement around, and she says, "Did we come at a bad time?"
Oh, no, you have not. We're just trying to get as many pieces and commissions closed. We're kind of towards the next cycle, so there's just a lot of energy right now.
Okay.
You're good.
Oh.
Um,
I'm looking for a full set for formal occasions, like the show that we saw you at, and also sort of like for general out and about, and for home wear.
okay. Well, it seems that you're wearing a slightly different style today. Are you an adventurer, a mercenary? Do you find yourself in the action much?
Well, this is kind of a habit from when I was in the military, and she rubs her throat.
Okay.
I kind of just got used to wearing clothing that lended to athleticism.
Yeah. Well, and that's something that you want to consider, because if you're going to be in action, or if you're trying to stealth, you don't want pieces that will give away or will jingle too much. So we can work with different things there. I think that's one of the reasons that I was leaning towards earrings the first time. But of course, you can see my full catalog here. For formal occasions, a couple statement pieces. You don't need earrings and a necklace and a bracelet, and body jewelry. And she gestures to herself because Safira does wear body jewelry all the time. Um, a earrings and a bracelet, one statement necklace will
Mhm.
do what you need for a formal occasion. And she'll kind of like go through the list to see where she sees the spark in the eye.
Okay. Between the two of you, you pick out some pieces that check those boxes. She then says, "While the boys are talking, do you have anything that I will look good wearing and only wearing?"
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
Um, what do you consider the feature that you would like to highlight the most?
Oh. And she describes to you, and then she says, "When you're done booking your sale, uh, my husband Handon will take care of the payment arrangements. He said I could have anything I wanted. So this is very exciting. Um, Thank you. I appreciate your candor and gentle hand. I haven't done this before."
That is okay. We're here to help. We want you to feel as confident in Safira jewelry. We have many styles, which is whatever works for you.
When she is done shopping, she calls Handon over, and you hear him go, "All right, you old soldiers, hang in there." He steps over, sees you again, says, "Okay, so you picked out everything you wanted?" She nods. "Okay, let's settle up, figure out what the cost is."
Can I, because I don't think I have yet, can I actually describe what Safira is actually wearing today?
Oh yes, of course. Sorry, I skipped.
No, it's
I
okay.
skipped over that.
It's fine. It's not everybody has like 3 different versions of what their character looks like.
Mhm.
So her daily, like day-to-day stuff is she's wearing a black crop shirt with a body chain, so it's framed like ribs over top. So the conversation around like what else she has, there's plenty of other kind of body jewelry that she has that she probably like advocated for. She has a red cloak, so she's not working right now. Like in her studio working, she's networking, so she probably is actually wearing it.
Mhm.
But when she's working, it's draped over her chair or something like that. White trousers, black leather boots. So the rest of her wardrobe is similarly edgy. And so there's just a little bit of Cruent, then a little bit of some, other types of styles that she brings with her in her life here in Fordyth.
Gotcha. Okay. You guys settle up your bill. He writes you a bank check for the amount. Doesn't even bother to negotiate.
Amazing.
And he says, "Well, your shop has, as always, high quality. This is the place to go. My mom has been coming here since she and my dad were married, and probably before that when she was a maiden. Dad's not much of a jewelry guy, but
Not everybody is, but there's always little pieces here and there.
Yeah. So appreciate it. Thank you for all of that. When can we expect the pieces? I assume they're all going to be custom made and all.
Yes. Does she feel like she can do this order in 5 days?
Yeah, it's not that much for you.
Okay, then yeah, I
you,
will
it's
give
not that
myself
much.
an extra day.
Yeah.
So like within the week.
Okay. If it was just Camilla and Win and Adris, then it would be longer. But for you,
yeah,
not that long. He says, "Well, really, I thought it would be a little longer, but faster's better." Great. Well, we will send someone by to pick it up then. Do you have? Oh, there's the receipt. Okay, great. They will have this, and they will pick it up then. You have a good day. And Handon, Pascor, and Xenia leave.
Okay, I'm going to message Win.
Mm-hmm.
So Cantrip, and what an awful man.
He responds, "What do you mean, awful man? He's a nice guy. I like Handon."
And then I will message back and be like, he called you a dog.
By this point, they've left, and Win gets up and comes over to you, thumping with his leg and getting his cane in order. He says, listen, we were just... It's just a thing that we do. Guys do that. We joke around like that. He's a nice dude. He's a nice guy.
If you say so.
Well,
thank you for dealing with him.
He's never treated me wrong, and he is a good and noble man.
Oh, his wife seems very nice. She winks at him. I think they're going to have some good evenings coming up.
Oh, what'd you do? Sell some kind of like love jewelry? Like some kind of like love enchanted jewelry or something? Something.
He probably is just like shimmying. She's like doing one of those sachet movements.
He goes, "Okay, well, you have definitely put that in my mind.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So let me ask you this while the shop is empty. You did say to the girls that you don't know how long you'll be, but do you actually know how long you'll be, or no?"
I don't. I really don't.
Okay. Well, I hate that.
I know.
I'm not happy you're leaving.
I didn't expect you to be. But we are going to my hometown. So we're visiting my family, and if these negotiations go well, maybe, one day it won't be so private. And I can share where I came from with you. But I will return.
No, you promise you're going to return.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll pine at you from a distance.
Well, darling, wait.
Hmm.
I have something for you. And it's not anywhere near me not leaving, unfortunately.
Okay.
Um, but I hope it's something that will remind you that you're still protected while I'm gone. And she'll kind of dig through her cloak, and she's got like a velvet bag that's pulled taut.
Hmm.
Um, and she will hand it over to him.
As you pull it out, Jasper is on your hand. He goes, "No, I can't take Jasper. He's yours." Jasper crawls up your arm. Oh, the bag! Oh, the bag. He takes the bag.
Yeah,
He opens
you're
it.
very cute, darling.
He opens up the bag and looks inside. So what's in the bag? He reaches in the bag.
So he pulls out a probably like one of the finest pieces that she's been making since winter. But it is a mixed metal band. It's mostly gold. So she's using the good stuff right now for it, but it's got a border of silver kind of twisted like a rope along the bottom of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
In the center is a masculine square cut sapphire in the center. And as he holds it, he's magically attuned enough that he can probably feel Safira's magic resonating within it.
Oh, nice. I didn't get you anything because I didn't want you to go. And he puts it on.
This is a ring of fire resistance.
Oh, well, that's very nice. I do feel a little bit more resistant to fire.
It's to help your dreams.
Yes, my horrible, horrible nightmares about magma and hell and that fucking wolf fox monster thing, demon thing, that thing.
Yeah. That.
Yeah, that was not good. Not a good time. He kind of like drifts off for a minute there. He catches himself and goes, "So, lunch?"
Sorry, you cut out for a second. You said lunch?
Lunch, yeah, lunch.
Lunch. Yep.
Okay, let's go. Let's go get some lunch. And he kind of like walks out. Now, as you enter the streets of Fordeth, the two of you, is there anything you'd like to do?
Oh, well, I have my list. So it depends on how much she's accomplished
Mm-hmm.
heading into the last 5 days before the trip. So samples.
Okay, samples.
So sedimentary stones, gemstones
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
she thinks will be of interest to her family. Wood in particular. Just different kinds of like wood samples and cut wood and ornate pieces that she might be able to find from the market that's easy to grab up here, but maybe not so much in our hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as always, she's carrying her journal, so she's looking for inspiration
Okay.
of designs and things like that.
I'll say you've accomplished most of your shopping beforehand. You've known about this trip coming up for a while now, and any other small pieces easily acquired between now and departure date. Is there anything you'd like to shop for and purchase for yourself?
I mean, if there are healing potions. That would be great.
Okay, yeah. There's plenty of alchemists in Forda. You can easily purchase healing potions.
Okay, yep.
You're a woman of means. It'll be more about like what you find reasonable to
Okay.
purchase. You have well-established wealth.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I have most of... Are there any, like, clothing items here that I think would be useful?
You know that the crown is providing loosely. The crown, the government is providing you like with the stuff you need to travel. So like
Okay.
tents and bedrolls and
Yeah, I
warm
mean, I think...
clothing and that sort of stuff is all going to be provided to you. So
I mean, yeah, then I think the only supplies are things like healing potions.
okay, you have received in the time period a package from home, which included a letter. I don't know if you've looked at that yet.
No.
And a as well as a booklet, a copy, like a magazine.
Oh, let me look. Okay.
So you and Wynn are opening up your mail at the kitchen table. After some nice shopping, you've acquired some healing potions.
Ugh, sorry, the letter, like, won't scroll properly because of how I have my screen.
Do you want to? Do you want me to read it aloud, or do you want to read it first?
I can read it.
Okay. Then it's your.
I just might... Yeah, so...
Then it's your choice
I
if you
can
want to
read
read it aloud or not.
it. Yep, that's fine. So the letter addresses Safira with her given name. They do not know Safira as Safira.
Right. You can skip.
We have missed you.
Yep.
Yep, we have missed you these long years since your departure from our home. The house is crawling with children. The business is good. We've expanded into the city a bit since your departure, and revenue is up. Recent contract acquisitions have been good to us. Your father has been looking forward to your visit. He's just giddy with the idea of technique exchange, constantly wondering how the surface dwellers process their gems and jewelry, what is in style and what isn't. I tried to tell him that you are setting the trends, but and this is where the scroll doesn't work.
But his curious nature is a bit too much sometimes. He'll come around when he sees you. Be sure to bring a sample box of what you've created recently. I'd love to see it. Everyone in the family is in good health. Zanrozai has been looking into diversifying our business a bit more. We don't want to be fully subjected to fashion trends and what is in or out when it comes to street decoration and curb appeal. We're a bit late getting into steel production, and thankfully she doesn't want to expand into that. At my suggestion, she has been looking into acquiring some spinners and new storefronts. Everyone is in good health. All the best, Mother.
That was sweet. Okay, so with that in mind, I think she will, she's not going to grab stuff that she's made, that the store will sell, but she has personal pieces that she can bring that incorporates both styles, and she still has her journal and designs. So she'll plan to bring some of that. And I think especially what will be interesting is the etching she's taken of the architecture She knows that her father will like that kind of thing.
As you're, looking at the letter and reading it, your Win has, sitting at the table. He's got his feet up on another chair. He's casually leaned back, a sandwich in one hand, the magazine that came in the package in the other, and he's just casually looking through it. He said, "So this is fashion where you came from?"
Oh, it's very hot.
Is it? And he passes the magazine to you. Okay. He takes a big bite of sandwich. I'm just saying, very brave.
I'll grab the magazine and take a look at it. Is
The,
there anything too wild from what I expect?
it's not wild from what you expect, but you can see like there's been a clear shift.
Yeah.
So fashion has definitely changed in the time period since you've been there. It's not surprising. Like if working your brain towards it, you can see how they got here. But it does kind of inform you of what you're in for when you get there.
Okay. Is there anything that I feel like I could mock up here heading like before we travel, or will I need to purchase in Warami?
You'll need to purchase when you get there. You can't make any of this stuff because you don't have the production tools. Like for starters, you need a spinner, and they don't live here. Spinner's a kind of spider. They weave the silk that a lot of the clothing's made from.
Yeah.
They just don't live up here on the surface. It's not where they live. So you don't have one of those. And if you were to try to like make something, you're not a tailor. And a tailor would look at this and be like, "How? I don't see how it's possible." Right? So the hardest thing to make would be like the body glove that a lot of these fashions are relying on. And from the photographs and the lithographs, you can't actually visually tell what they're made of. It could be metal, it could be some kind of cloth, it could be like a mixed material, unsure. Okay. But like a lot of it looks very soft and nice, so you're assuming it's gossamer in a lot of cases.
Okay. I think I'm not really into clothing as much. Like she gets custom pieces, but she is not a tailor. But with the fashion in mind, she will also bring just a couple cloth samples, like maybe cotton and like similar specific styles that might become like a luxury piece. Because it's not as accessible. Just basically pulling on the so I can't get it here, so it's more profitable, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Wynn says, because he's with you when you go shopping for this kind of stuff, he says, thinking about it, why don't you grab some like samples of stuff that's used in industry, like broadcloth or canvas? I don't suppose they have anything like that, but that would be good to show, because like we have so much broadcloth and canvas. It'd be a good trade if they needed it.
It's a great idea. Definitely where I was already going.
All right. So as that's
not the word for it.
There you go. So as you finish up your shopping and the days wind down, anything else you'd like to do before your departure?
Spend as much time as possible with Wynn.
Mm-hmm.
Finish the commission for Xenia. which, you know, if things get a little dicey, she can stay up and work on. It's not too wild for her to stay up sometimes. She makes her own time, so she do what she got to do when the inspiration hits.
All right. Okay. Well, that's all easily accomplished, and I suppose with that we have reached the end of our introduction session. And thank you for coming in and playing this evening.
Yes, thank you.
Of course. And I want to
It
thank.
was
Go ahead.
merchant game.
Merchant session. And I'd like to thank our audience, of course, for putting up with Merchant Session. I hope you guys enjoyed your introduction to Safira, and we'll see you when we see you for From Depths Unkind. Again, please check out the schedule in our Discord for more dates about stuff and games and things, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.